Hello and welcome to a very special Win Daily show. This is an interesting one. We're very excited to hear it. We here at Win Daily, we have a family member, as our good friend John Rocker likes to call it. We have a family member that is in the EPL Live Final that starts, in about an hour and 45 minutes here on the East Coast and all around the world. We're very excited for it. We got our friend Naderade with us. Nate, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm pumped. Can't
Hell
wait for
yeah.
the slate to start.
Yeah, right. As you told me earlier today, you've been up since 3 a.m. I'm sure stressing a little bit, getting excited. We obviously have our good friend Rich Masana here, our head soccer writer. Rich, how you doing this morning?
How you doing, guys? Feeling great. I mean, it's the EPL finale. Lots at stake, so
we're excited for it. Rich, how cool is it to see one of the dudes that you just talk to all the time? He's making it to the big time now.
Man, I'm jealous, man. For all my soccer exploits, I've never been in the Live Final. So, I'm going to live vicariously through him, as we all will today. So you try to give him the best advice possible and win a lot of money.
We love it, man. We love it. So, Nate, I mean, talk to me a little bit. Like, how long have you been playing DFS soccer, and did you ever think this day was going to come?
Never thought it would come. I've tried with baseball, football, basketball. I actually started playing DFS or started playing soccer when I got into DFS, and I kind of went away from it. Tried it again this year, and it was actually, I got a story behind it. It was actually, so I did some research on the slate, and I can't hear myself. I did some research on the slate, and Rich, he had his picks and everything, and I set my lineup with a guy on the bench. So that was one of the crazy parts about it. I can't remember the guy's name. It might have been Bruno Fernandez that day. But he actually came off the bench, and I didn't think, I'd win anything that day because, he was missing from the lineup. But he came off the bench and scored 2 goals and bumped me ahead of, the guy over it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name, but
it's all good.
Yeah.
No, I think keep
bumped
going.
me ahead of Osmo, so I was pretty pumped about that.
Him name that starts with an A, I believe.
Yeah. You're
Do what?
perfect. You're perfect, Nate. You're perfect. I think that is awesome. And just the opportunity. I mean, what are the chances, right? Like, I'm very confident that he was an extremely low owned player because he wasn't starting, right? And
Yeah.
it might have been a mistake, but hey man, it worked out for the best for you. And obviously we're very, very excited for you. As you said, we have our team here, and we're gonna support the hell out of you in what you're doing. We think it is fantastic. And when it actually happened, like what was that like? Like, what is that feeling like? I mean, obviously this is a weird time because it would have been cool to go to the Live Final, but I mean, we're still here now. We can still rock with it. I mean, how cool was it to know that you're up there, man? You got a chance to win a couple bucks.
It's crazy, man. I was talking to my wife about it last night. She was like, you need to, if you come in first, you need to get a new truck. And I'm like, we're going to throw it at something, but not going that far. But, it's crazy, man. And hopefully I can put my name on the map and, put Win Daily, right beside it. So it's awesome, man. And Rich has been great too. I've been talking with him back and forth. So I haven't really set my lineup. I have, but I haven't. And there's a couple of sneaky plays that I'm looking at that hopefully throws me over the top. So we'll see.
It is. I mean, obviously, if you're shooting for the top, well, let's tell everybody how much is on the line here today. How much money can you win?
So I believe first place is $25,000. Second place is 15. And third place is 10,000, and it just goes down from there. But the least amount of money you can win is 500. So
okay,
not too bad still.
Hey man, you're coming out on top. It sounds like, and with that, I mean, how, as you said, there's a couple sneaky plays. So we'll, Rich, you can chime in here as well. Like, what is the strategy of a live final? Obviously, it's the first time you're there. I know we've had other, former members of Win Daily in live finals before. So we've seen this. It's not the first time this has happened for us. So we're excited about it. But what is the strategy there? How sneaky do we want to get? How contrarian are we really trying to go versus, how much of that, good chalk are we really looking for there?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. What are you thinking right now? What are your thoughts? How you feeling about it?
I don't know the mindset of everybody else in there. I know all about, and I know you guys know about it, but hedge life, you got to hedge everything. But with one lineup, you want to go to the top, so you got to be different with it. And I know, Manchester City is like big favorites today. And I know, if they're able to score some goals, so you want to at least have maybe one of those guys in there. But there's also some matches that have some things on the line, relegation and some of these teams going to the Champions League too. So I look at all that, and hopefully, I'm going to pay attention to my lineup this time. So hopefully I have the right players in there when the slate starts.
We're crossing our fingers for you, man. Or maybe the wrong ones, because that worked out for you last time. So Rich, I got to ask, how many players off the bench are you going to, have Nate play today, or at least consult with him to play? I'm curious.
I would say generally it's not an optimal strategy. Though I have seen events like, what Nate's referred to happen, many times before. I think I once had a big money head-to-head versus someone where they didn't start someone. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be so easy today, and the same thing happened. So today you're gonna need every man to be in the lineup. It is a huge slate. Every single team is playing, and after I put up my article, I got a chance to look around the industry and just see, what's everyone else saying, how everyone else viewed this, and it is just all over the place. There's absolutely no consensus anywhere. I just read one article from one of the major sites that didn't even mention Man City as like a minus 1,600 favorite, which, I get it. They might be chalky. They're the biggest favorite on the slate, but at the same time, you got to at least mention them. Right now, go out today. But there are just so many good plays that today ownership is basically a non-issue. There's just no way anyone's going to be chalk, with that many, expensive guys and, good players to be able to pivot to. So in Nate's contest, you're looking at 100 people, and figure some of those 100, you might have like the man with the name that starts with an A, that curse word, he might have 7 or 8 entries. And, I think like there are probably at least 3 or 4 people who have, multiple entries in there. So they're probably going to try to hedge you a little bit around. I think you don't have to go too crazy with trying to be insanely different here. I think you're going to be able to get quality players at, pretty fair, ownership rate. I think it's all about, trying to be a little bit balanced today, because you're going to need points from pretty much every single position. This isn't a type of slate where you can say, oh, well, I could punt this spot, whatever, because I'm going to pay up and I have those 2 big forwards, or, I have this guy. It's not going to work like that, just because, there's going to be points from pretty much every single position today. So, you're going to have to be able to compete, to be able to get value at every single spot. So I think that's going to be one driving force when you look at ownership, after it comes out, is going to be pricing. I think some of the people who are just, like a Kevin De Bruyne, I think, he's at 10,700 at DK. And while, maybe he's the best raw play, I think it also prohibits what you can build with your lineup. So that might keep his ownership down a little bit, for one example. But yeah, it definitely is an interesting slate. I would say it is not a cash game slate at all. And I would definitely recommend MMEing a little bit. I think this is sort of slate in those bigger contests, where, some people unfortunately only put like 1-2 entries. The MME players who have 30, 40 entries, and can cover a lot of bases today, are going to be able to make some money, because they have a guy, who's 5%, 10%, he scores, 3 goals or whatever. They're going to offset all their other lineups. So.
It's such a crazy, specifically Nate, in your position. There's it's awesome though, right? There's so many games. Everything's happening, and you get a single lineup, right? And you're against like 99 other dudes. As I'm sorry, as Rich just said, that some people are gonna have 8, a couple people are gonna have 3 or 4. So the field is not quite just 100 people with one lineup, but at the same time, there's only a few dudes that are going to have a few guys and girls that are going to have a couple different lineups. I guess I keep wanting to call you Austin. I don't know why, Rich. I'm sorry. You're much more attractive than Austin. Better hair too, so I got to give you that. Rich, with a single entry into a 100 entry field, like how do you get different, especially with this giant of a slate, or do you not even pay attention to that because the slate is so big that it's most likely going to be really hard to really double up on these types of lineups?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff I didn't even pay attention to. Goal odds, ownership again is a non-issue. I mean, I think you want to be different, but you don't want to be too crazy with this. I think if it was like 1,000 people or 2,000 people, you could say, well, so and so is an underdog in this random game. Let's just take a shot at it because no one will have them. I do think you do want to be somewhat optimal here. So spend wise, I think you still want to spend a decent amount in one of the midfield spots. Because even if you go down from a Kevin De Bruyne, you have someone like a Bruno Fernandes. It's a tough matchup. We didn't really talk about the games too much, but just a real quick, on the 2 biggest games of the day. One is Manchester United and Leicester City. Manchester United is away. Basically, there are 2 Champions League spots of the 4 still available. Chelsea has 62 points. Manchester United and Leicester City have 61. So basically, assuming that one of these teams would win and one would lose, this would basically be for Champions League. So a tougher game, but Bruno Fernandes, we know his floor. Going down, I think you have some decent midfielders there in the mid-range too. David Silva for Manchester City. This is his going away party, his last game with Manchester City. So I almost expect him to get some set pieces. Maybe they let him, they've been rotating penalty kicks. I wouldn't be surprised he gets the penalty kick. So that might be another factor I'll consider. But, I don't think I'm going to spend over 10K or something on too many positions. I think I'm going to want forwards, in that 7-8 range. There's some value. The Manchester United guys, Jimenez, Pulisic will be popular. I think Willian's an absolute steal with his floor, the way, he's been playing, most of the second half. So a lot of good options. But people can be driven. The Manchester United game, is important. And Aston Villa versus West Ham, as well as Watford versus Arsenal. Those are the 2 games with relegation implications. Watford and Aston Villa are tied. Going into today, I think goal difference, Aston Villa, has a 1-goal advantage. So again, there's a lot of buzz on that too, because people perhaps rightfully associate it with, well, he seems like a try really hard. And they're pushing because of relegation. I also don't want to play too much into that too, because also remember, there's a reason these teams are in this position, where they're fighting to try to stay alive and not get relegated, because they're not good teams. I would expect Watford to go down today, and I think Aston Villa is going to have a tough battle in their hands. I don't think it's going to be easy. West Ham's been in very good form. They're coming off a tie versus Manchester United. So it's definitely not going to be a walkover game, but sort of getting back to the general point, I think it is important just to stay balanced today. A guy like Alexander-Arnold is normally a great play. He takes all set pieces for Liverpool, but at $7,700, today's a day where you have to say, well, maybe I want Robertson or Diego Rico or someone, sort of in that range to get the savings.
I love it. Nate, I hope you were taking notes. I'm sure you guys have been talking this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
But no,
go ahead.
No, you. This is your show, man. I'm just here to talk to you. Keep going.
I was going to add to Rich. Yeah, I'm pretty heavy on that West Ham Aston Villa game. Aston Villa, whatever.
Yeah, who the heck knows what it is? But yeah, I'm sure you and Rich, you have some more time to chit chat. You guys have more time to consult and figure out exactly what you're feeling. Nate, you made it this far, so we're very confident and you're very excited to see what happens. And I gotta ask, how do you have 7 TVs to watch all these games on? 6 TVs to watch all these? How are you going to be watching today? What are you doing, man?
Honestly, with a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old, the TVs are hard to come by in this house. But I'm going to have at least one TV going. So I'll be tuning back and forth, I guess.
Good for you, man. Keep it rocking and rolling. And Nate, we appreciate the hell out of you. Rich, thank you so much for everything you do over here at Win Daily Sports. Nate, I gotta ask, do you have a Twitter? Is there anyone? Can we follow along with your escapades today while you're sweating real hard?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is let's see if I can remember this at ATL Falcon Fan. So that is my Twitter handle, ATL Falcon Fan. I'm a big Atlanta sports buff, so.
And you're a very big soccer
United jersey.
Boo! I guess I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie. Sweet. Nice Mets shirt, Rich. I love it. Good stuff. So with that, everybody make sure to go follow Nate on Twitter. I'll make sure to tag you once this video is over. Make sure to follow Rich as well. Rich, where can everybody find you on the internet?
On Twitter at JFan303.
And of course, you can find everybody in the Discord here at Win Daily Sports. Today's the last day of the 23-cent promo as well. So 23 cents for the first month for all of Discord projection models and articles. But Nate, we are very, very excited, man. We are pumped. We are excited to follow along. Keep tweeting out so we can keep retweeting it and watching you. As I said, we'll sweat with you. I promise you that. So it should be a lot of fun. But thank you guys so much. And I hope everybody makes it a very profitable day.